Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making my version of dirty rice. I think it's delicious, and the nice thing about dirty rice is you can always make it your own. If you see anything that you're not fond of, you can leave it out, or you can add something additional in. What I have done in advance is I have browned 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 pounds of Italian sausage, ground sausage, and I cooked 1 pound of chicken livers that I boiled until they were tender. I removed them from the liquid and I chopped them up till they're almost like a fine paste. And I added them to my ground beef and to my ground sausage. I have this setting aside. I did that just the same time. In this pan, I have the drippings from the hamburger meat and from the sausage. Important to note that I reserved the liquid from boiling the chicken livers because we will need that liquid. So in this pan, I have the drippings from that sausage and from the hamburger. And I've added 1 stick of butter, a splash of olive oil to keep the butter from burning. What I'm going to add to that is about 2 cups of celery. All these measurements they don't have to be exact. If you like celery a whole lot, add more celery. If you don't like celery, pull back on it. And here I have 1 medium onion chopped fine, 1 green bell pepper, and 1 red bell pepper. Lots of vegetables in my version. In it goes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute these vegetables until they are translucent. And then what I will do, that's the oven, which I have preheated on 375, because this rice is going to be cooked in the oven. I have some seasonings, bay leaves, some Creole seasoning, and some herbs de Provence. And I have some garlic. So this is 8 cloves of garlic that have been chopped. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to my vegetables. In addition, I have some sage. I have 6 cups of rice, and I have 7 cups of broth. Now, this is the liquid that came off the livers, and I added additional chicken stock to make 7 cups of liquid. That's all we're going to need to make this rice. And let me tell you, it is delicious. I have had people who've ate my rice and they love it. It definitely feeds a crowd. Now, you could cut this recipe in half. But what I do is I always make a full batch and it freezes perfectly. And I'll put it in the freezer. And when I want some dirty rice, I just pull it out and it can go in the oven and be reheated. I just kind of splash it with some water, cover it with tin foil in a tin pan, and reheat it in the oven perfectly. So I am cooking my vegetables. I'm going to go ahead and allow those cook for about 10 minutes because that's a lot of vegetables. I'll be back and we will add the rice, the spices, and the liquid, and it will go into a 375-degree oven. Okay, the onions, peppers, garlic have been cooking now for about 10 minutes. They're translucent and most of the liquid has cooked off. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to add just a little more olive oil, and I'm going to add my rice to toast the rice. So each of these bowls has 3 cups of rice in it. So there's 3 cups and 3 more cups. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and stir the rice around so it can absorb some of the oil and actually toast. This will take about another oh, probably 10 minutes in total. And then what I will do is add the liquid. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and add some of my spices. So this is 3 teaspoons of Cajun seasoning. Now I know that seems like quite a bit, but this is 6 cups of rice, right? So it warrants that much. This is 1 tablespoon of herbes de Provence. And we are going to add some sage. I'm just going to eyeball this and sprinkle it in. You don't really want a lot of sage, just a little hint of sage. That's it. And same thing with the tarragon. Not a lot, just a hint of tarragon. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to add some pepper. Now, normally I use freshly cracked pepper, but I like the fine ground pepper in this particular dish. So, same thing. I'm just going to eyeball the pepper, and I think that's about all we need there. Some red pepper flakes, couple pinches. And last, we will add in our bay leaves when we add the liquid. In addition to that, I am going to add some onion powder, and I'm just eyeballing it. That was about a teaspoon. And although I added garlic, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some ground garlic in there, or garlic powder. Mix this all in. And like I said, we're going to let the rice toast for about 10 minutes before we add the liquid, the bay leaves, and put it in the oven. I will be back to show you the next step. Okay, I'm back. My rice has been toasting for about 12 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. It started to take on a slight golden brown hue. And I'm ready for the next step. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my meat, which if you remember was 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 pounds of ground sausage, and 1 pound of chicken livers. Now, if you research the origin of dirty rice, you will find that it was a dish designed to feed a large number of people, and they used what they had available. Sometimes it was only chicken livers, sometimes it was only beef, sometimes only pork, sometimes it was pork, beef, and chicken. They may or may not have had an onion, or may not have had a pepper, but they made it work with what they had to feed a large number of people. So I'm just stirring in the meat with the rice. And if you can see in my pot, you can see I have about an equal amount of rice to meat. And that's the way I like it. Some people will cook it with less meat or prepare it with less meat. Maybe some will do more. This is one of those dishes that you can make it your own. You can add a jalapeno in there. You can add a shallot in there. You can do what you want. I'm going to go ahead and add my bay leaves in there. And to that, I'm going to add my 7 cups of liquid. Just like that. Now, I know a lot of you have been taught to cook rice at a 2-to-1 ratio. You do not need to do that with this dish. In fact, when I cook rice, normally I do 1 cup of rice to 1 1/4 cup of water. And even if I do 2 cups of rice, it is 2 cups of rice and 2 1/4 cup of water. And it comes out perfect every time. And I can tell that I have enough liquid in here just by seeing that the liquid is coming to the top of the rice. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to turn my burners off here. And this pan is perfect for cooking this large amount of rice, but you can certainly use a Dutch oven or anything you have. I'm going to cover this tightly with aluminum foil, and it's going to go in the oven at 375 degrees, and it will take about an hour. And then it will be ready. You can fluff it with a fork and enjoy the rice. I will be back to show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. Welcome back to my kitchen. The rice cooked for exactly 1 hour, and I came through and just fluffed everything up. It is perfectly cooked. It smells absolutely amazing. I wish you could be here in my kitchen. It smells so good. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cover it back up and allow it to cool. And then some I will put in the refrigerator to serve to my guests. And some I will put in the freezer because this freezes perfectly. Boy, they probably wish I keep it all out for them to eat because it smells so good and it tastes delicious. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to like, follow, and share. And as always, I hope laughter was the best part of your day.